It was so interesting because they have the glass case and stuff around it, and they have like blessings and everything like that. We were going to open it when we went.
You were really going to open that thing, though?
We were, yeah.
Kelsi Davies, it is so nice to meet you. Oh, my God.
So nice to meet you.
How have we never met?
I don't know.
I mean, I do a lot of interviews in the pop space and a lot in the paranormal space as well. And you're kind of in that same thing. And I bet we've crossed paths at an event or something.
Probably. It's crazy because I grew up like listening to Kiss FM and like JoJo on the radio and stuff. Like growing, like going to school every day, I would listen to it. So it's like a full circle moment for me. But I did not know you were into the paranormal like as much as you are.
Dude, it's an obsession of mine, and it has been forever. Okay, let's just jump into it. I'm obsessed with the paranormal, and I started off as a little kid, and it turned into this podcast years later. And basically, what I do here is I talk to people who've had real paranormal encounters, and I call it. If anybody knows, the title of the podcast is Paranormalish, and the reason I call it that. Most of it is paranormal, and some things are paranormal-ish.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have a horror movie director on from time to time, and I think people that love the paranormal probably watch horror movies.
Same realm, yeah.
Give or take, But, okay, you're basically Kelsi Davies. She's got a great, social platform, YouTube channel, merch, music, the whole bit. But you're psychic and clairvoyant, and I think you start your episodes off with you see and talk to dead people.
Yes.
I'm so fascinated by this, and I want to get into the weeds on this. When did you first know that you had this ability, this gift?
Yeah, so when I was little, I would see figures. I would just experience things all the time that scared me, and I just didn't understand it because no one really talked about it in my family. And then once I started growing up, I blocked it out for a long time. I would go to school and tell kids I had this experience on the Queen Mary, when I was 7 years old.
Right.
Because my grandpa sailed on the Queen Mary when he was 8 years old. So he took us on there and showed us around and stuff. And it happens to be a very haunted ship. And I went in this room, and it was this Titanic exhibit at the time, and I was by myself, and I saw this apparition of a woman in a white dress, and she came towards me. I freaked out. I ran by my mom. I didn't say a word because I didn't know how to process what I saw. And so then I went to school and I started telling kids about it, and they were like, "No, you're a liar." "No, you didn't." And I was like, But I did, and it was just something that I've experienced a few times. So I thought other people did. And I was like, maybe I didn't. I don't know. So I started blocking it out. And then as I got older, it started coming back more. And I started seeing this man more often in a brown suit. He had silver glasses, this shiny watch, or silver watch, and these glasses. And he would peek around corners, and then he would go away, and then I'd look and he'd be gone.
This is at your house?
This was just
anywhere?
Yeah, randomly, usually at home and stuff, and I had no idea who this man was. And later, there was one time I was washing my hands, in the kitchen when you have the window in front of the sink, and at night it kind of turns into a mirror, you could see the reflection. I was looking in it, and I all of a sudden saw that man standing next to the fridge, and I was freaked out, and then I turned around, he was gone. And I was like, what in the world? Who is this? So I started really diving in and trying to understand who it was. And I knew it was on my grandpa's side. For some reason, just knew it was my grandpa's dad. And so I asked my mom about him, and she was like, I don't know anything about him. He died before my mom was born, so she never met him. And so I called my grandpa, and I was like, was your dad super stern? And did he just a lot of personality traits and things like that? And I was like, did he have a brown suit and these glasses and this shiny watch? And he was like, yeah, he had a brown suit. He'd wear that watch all the time. Yes, he had the glasses, everything like that. And then I found out, my family didn't tell me this, but on the Native American side of my family, they all had psychic medium gifts, and they would speak to the dead. And no one told me until I started diving into the history. My grandpa's like, oh, yeah, my mom and my brother, they would talk to dead people. I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me?
Information you could have used.
Yeah, I could have used that in my life. Crazy. So then I just, started sharing it online, and here we are.
Did you, when you first started seeing things, did you think that, everybody saw the same thing? Like, this is kind of normal, but then you realize afterwards, like, dude, I'm the only one seeing this for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, like, I thought it was normal. I would also see colors kind of trail off of people too. So I would associate people with colors, and I thought everyone did that, like, but then I found out later it was an aura, and I was seeing auras, and I didn't understand that too. And then I would also have these dreams of things before they would happen. And I would tell my mom, like, there was an instance where there was a fire by our house on these hills. There's like a big canyon and stuff by us. And I was telling her all day, I was like, Mom, I had a dream that the hills were on fire. There was this huge mushroom-shaped cloud and all this stuff. And she was just like, okay, whatever. And I was really disturbed by the dream, so I kept talking about it. Then we were driving, and I saw that huge mushroom-shaped cloud. I was like, Mom, that's the cloud. That's the cloud. She was like, wait, what? And then we went to that canyon in that area, and it was the Holy Fires in Orange County. I think that's what they called them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and the hills were on fire.
So that's
that
the vision you saw in the dream.
Yes.
Dude.
And so my mom was freaked out. She was like, "You're scaring me. Like, what is that?" So she didn't understand it either.
Have you ever been asked to help, like, with police investigations or would you like to do something along those lines?
Maybe one day. It's just hard because, like, it's so sporadic for me, the things I experience. So it's like sometimes I can tap in and, like, I'll pick up things, but a lot of the times I just have to trust the spirits that they'll come to me in my sleep and show me something, or, it depends. So it's like if I went and helped, I don't know if they would come through strong for me or not.
One of the questions I want to ask, and maybe there's probably several answers to this, when you see these people, you described the lady at the Queen Mary, what do they look like me and you? Like, do they look as real as me, or do they look translucent? Like, give me as specific as you can. Like, what do they look like?
Yeah, for me, it's a lot of the times it'll be like parts of them. So for the woman, she was probably one of the most clear ones I've seen, but she was a little translucent. And it was like she was hovering, because, like, our physical doesn't really, they don't use it in the same way as we do,
gotcha.
Right?
Sort of a floating kind of ish?
Yeah, kind of like a hover. It was interesting. And then a lot of the times, because this is a whole dive into time doesn't exist,
Gotcha.
And so sometimes I'll see them and it looks like they're almost running, but they're just going really quickly by, at a point where it's humanly impossible to move at that speed. So it'll be very swift and quick movements like that. And so I'll see something and I'm like, I don't know how to describe what I just saw, because it just flew by me. And then, I mean, it depends on what the spirit, how they manifest. Also, there was one time I saw a man and he was jogging. This was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. This was in Oregon. He was jogging on the side of the road and I only saw the upper half of his body from his chest up. And so I just saw, like, his head bobbing, and I looked and then he was gone. And I was like, what? Why is he jogging? First off, like,
maybe in the afterlife you need to keep in shape.
Keep in shape. I'm like, sir, the rest of your body isn't there. Like, what are you doing? So things like that. Sometimes I don't even know how to describe it, because it's just like pieces of clothing or just their shoes or just a part of them. But I haven't had it where it's just like you and I talking like
Not
this.
that clear.
That would freak me out.
Walking around with you must be fascinating, because I'm guessing you're, like, probably stopping and glancing and looking left and right, seeing things that others don't see. That's got to be fascinating to walk just through a park with you.
Yeah.
Or, God forbid, a graveyard or anything like that,
A lot of the times I'll just, like, keep it to myself because I don't want to annoy people, or, so I just, like, my boyfriend, he always...
Did he know you had this ability before you guys, became boyfriend, girlfriend?
Not really, but then, like,
surprise.
Yeah, I was a little like about it, because I was still kind of in denial of, everything. And then he's been there, like, through my whole spiritual journey and stuff. So he was a skeptic before he met me. Now he's a full-time believer, and I'll always be looking, I don't know, by the TV or something, because I have spirits in my house. So sometimes they'll interrupt me when I'm watching TV, and I'll just be kind of glaring at the side and he notices. He's like, what do you see? What are you looking at? And I'm like, don't worry about it. And he's like, what are you looking at? I want to know. And he gets all scared.
Do you ever like watch TV? Well, clearly you're watching TV and spirits are around. Have you ever noticed that a spirit likes a particular show you're watching?
Actually, there was like one time I have this haunted statue, and he was kind of like turned towards the TV, not the statue, but like his spirit I saw like a glimpse of him like turned towards the TV. He always has his head down, like he's kind of a sad man, you know? And so he was like watching, I can't even remember what I was watching, but every time I would put that show on, he would like kind of be there. And I'm like, I don't know if he resonated with the show or what it was about it. I don't know if he liked it necessarily, but it was an interesting little experience. Yeah.
I would think like, because if the theory is what I believe, spirits are people that passed on, clearly. There's the demonic side as well. But as far as people, if they passed away years and years ago, and now there's this new technology called TV, and shows that would be like if you died in the 1700s, I'm not saying the spirit was, who knows where they're from, but you see a TV with a cool show, I would want to watch it, right? It'd be kind of cool,
Yeah. They usually kind of keep up with what's going on, and they know, like they could tap into your frequency and like understand things about you, understand things about the world, which is really interesting. So it's like so beyond our human comprehension, but.
God, it's so wild. Fascinating. How do they usually communicate with you when they have something to say or like a message? Is it, do they speak? Like, can you hear them, or is it like a telepathy type of a thing, or how do they get a message across to you?
For me, I have like clairvoyance, so it's a lot of imagery and a lot of symbolism. So a lot of the times it's kind of like solving a puzzle. You're trying to put the pieces together. Sometimes they'll speak and I'll hear, but it freaks me out, and it's random. Like I'll be like, I don't like that. But it's usually like they'll be, let's say there's a man here and he's in the corner, and let's say he died of a heart attack. He'll show me like him grabbing his chest, and I'm like, okay, there's something with this. And then he'll like have me feel kind of like a pinching pain or something like that, or a tingle. And I'm like, okay, I think this man had heart problems. Like, is that how you died? And then he'll show me an image of him like in the hospital. And I'm like, okay, so this man had a heart attack, went to the hospital, was pronounced dead there. Like it'll be
so it's kind of like spiritual charades.
Charades, yeah.
Now, if you guess like he had, let's say he died of a heart attack, and you guess, or you stab with a knife, would he give you like a no signal or something like that?
Yeah, sometimes, they'll just shake their head or something, or I'll just feel and know like if I'm not quite there. I'm not always right, but right. I always try to understand the best way that I can, and that's why I take people on this journey of me understanding it, because there's a lot of people who are psychics and mediums, but it's like, how did they get to that point, And
good point,
yeah, so I wanted to share my whole journey, just coming into it and understanding it, and I'm always like, I'm still learning, guys. I'm still trying to understand, but usually I'm pretty spot on, which is cool.
You ever confused a spirit with a human? Like they look, you said you don't see many that look as real as you and I, but have you ever, for a moment confused a spirit with, I thought that person was alive? Like, for example, the jogger maybe, or, well, granted, the jogger didn't have feet, so maybe that's not a good example.
Yes. There's been times like, oh my God, when I lived in Old Town Pasadena.
Oh, really?
All the time I would be driving and I would see like someone run in the road. And so there's a lot of homeless people and stuff who like running the road or whatever, and so I slammed on my brakes like a couple times because I thought I was going to hit someone, and then they're gone. So that's happened multiple times, which is kind of dangerous. And so I pull off to the side, and I'm like, okay, I have to like take a breath. And then there was one time, oh my God, in the parking garage, there was this entity. It was so clear. I saw it on my side mirror, and it looked like a man in a hood that like ducked behind my car, and he ran behind it, and I freaked out. I called my boyfriend. I was like, I think there's someone trying to rob me. Like, I'm scared. And he was like, okay, put the reverse camera on so that you can see if he's behind your car and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So I put the reverse on, no one there. And I'm looking around, and I eventually got out of the car, and there was no one.
Wow.
And so I got like genuinely scared. Like, I'm more scared of people than ghosts, honestly.
That's a fair point.
You know, like people are
I get
scary.
So, facts, man. Facts on that. Hey, you mentioned Old Town Pasadena. Have you ever been to what they call Suicide Bridge?
Yes, many times.
What'd you see out there?
Oh,
what'd you feel?
God.
Whatever, yeah.
Oh, a lot of things. I mean, there's so much like sadness there, and like when you walk on the bridge itself, you feel this immense just amount of pain and sadness that people felt before they decided to, you know, end their life. And underneath the bridge, when you go into that there's like a trail down there.
We've been on it, yeah.
Yeah, when you go down there, there's just this weird feeling. I don't know. There was a man that was super angry this one time I went, and he was pacing back and forth, and he was blaming this woman for him, like, choosing to end his life. And he was so angry, and then my friend took out his DR60. So this is something like a voice recorder so that we can hear the spirits if they want to say anything. So he presses record, and we ask about this man, and you hear him on the recording screaming.
No kidding.
Just like, we were like, what's your name? He's like, my name is Raul. Like, so mad. It was fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.
With this ability, speaking of locations like that, are some locations super difficult for you to visit? You know, graveyards come to mind, hospitals, you know, are there any places that you hesitate to go because of, you know, you're going to get these spirits following you, I would imagine, right?
Grocery stores.
Shut the hell up.
Grocery stores.
Why?
Of all places. I don't know why. There was, like, I've had so many weird experiences. I think it's because it's part of their daily routine. And so, like, I'll be at the store and I'll see someone next to me. So I'll move, like, out of the way. You know, you kind of see them at the corner of your eye and you feel them. And I'll move, and then I'll look and there's no one there. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're just shopping. And then I went to a Costco one time, and I had a full-blown, like, panic attack for it was the weirdest thing. But this man walked by me, and I think this man does really bad things, like this, like, living man. So
this person you saw was a real person.
This was a real person.
Gotcha.
And they walked by me, and I got the nastiest, weirdest feeling, like this person is up to no good. They do bad things. And I started feeling so nauseous and disoriented. My boyfriend had to, like, sit me down in the corner because I was just, like, in this weird state of panic. And so I don't know what that man does or who that is. I don't know if I walked by a murderer. I don't know what, you know, but whatever I felt was like this immense, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. So yeah, grocery stores. Cemeteries are actually pretty peaceful most of the time. And then hospitals definitely have. I haven't been to a lot of hospitals, like, you know, I've been to, like, a lot of abandoned hospitals, but I haven't really, you know, had someone I need to go visit all the time and stuff. But I'm sure if I did, I'm sure there'd be some weird things in there too.
I guess when you think about it, if you pass over, and every person's different, clearly, but if you pass over, I guess where would you want to spend your time at if you came back to visit? Maybe it's the grocery store. Why would you want to go see your grave all day?
Right.
You know, so that does make sense in a crazy way.
You want to do things that you would in life, and especially if you're stuck in that middle vibration and you're not ready to move on, you're still kind of here. So it's like, why not do your daily activities and things like that?
Do spirits ever follow you home? I saw you say in one of your videos, maybe you say it in all of them, I don't know, but I think you had some sort of a, you recited some verbiage of don't follow me home. Yeah. But, you know, in real life, if you told a person don't follow me home, they still might follow you home. So I'm not sure how effective it is, but do they ever follow you home?
Yes. Yeah. They'll come to me before I go to locations also. So there's no safety there. Like, they'll come to me in my sleep. They love doing that. I'll feel something before we go to a location, or we'll be in the car a lot of the times, and I'll see someone in the back of the car.
Shut the hell up.
And I'm like, okay, this, like, I haven't released this video yet, but we went to the Mid-Orange Correctional Facility, and it used to be a place for just what is it? Like, boys who were just up to no good, you know?
Right.
And so there was this boy in the back of the car. He was, like, in his teens, you know, and I saw him, and I was like, okay, I told my boyfriend, I was like, Drew, there's a boy in the back of the car. He seems really sad. He seems a little upset, you know, and I think he's going to have something to do with this place we're going to. I also had a dream before we went that the back of my head was just, like, gushing blood for some reason, and my whole pillow in the dream was covered in blood. But I wasn't me. I was like a male, just a boy or man, I don't know. And so then we went and we found out that there was a boy who was like 15 years old, and he supposedly took the bed sheets and he chose to end his life. But then there was this man who had slapped him before this all happened, and he cut him down, and his actual cause of death was him hitting the back of his head on the wall or the floor, supposedly, and that's how they say he died.
Dude.
So that all, like, we were like tripping out because, so that was crazy.
Does he ever get a chance to, your boyfriend, does he ever, I know he doesn't have the same gift, but does he ever get a chance to talk to them through you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been experiencing things because I believe every single person has the capability of tapping into this. We're all spirits having a human experience. Some people just are more tuned in than others and choose this life, Some people, like, valid if you don't choose to go talk to dead people, I get it. Like, my sister's really scared of it, but she has the gift too. But yeah, he's been experiencing things more and more and seeing things, and he doesn't like it, but it's happening.
Oh my God. Welcome to the club, I guess.
Yeah.
Has a spirit ever, I'm going to guess the answer is yes on this. Has a spirit ever asked you to deliver a message to someone?
Yes.
How did that go? Because I would imagine sometimes when you go to deliver it, first of all, do they believe you? Mm-hmm. Second of all, if it's a complete stranger, who knows what they'll do? Right.
Yeah. Usually when the spirit wants me to, they know the person's going to be receptive of it. And I feel it. Like, I'll kind of feel it out, and then I'll deliver the message. But I don't do it all the time, especially if it's like an angry spirit who's like, they owe me money, or, something like that. I'm not going to go do that.
Has that happened? Like, they owe me money kind of a thing?
It's kind of like that, just like someone mad at them,
Gotcha.
For something, or like when they passed away, the sibling took the money, like things like that. Because death brings like a lot of bad things to people with grief. Some people just don't know how to handle it, especially when like it's financial things after. So there's been things like that, but I kind of just keep it to myself. I don't want to cause problems. It's not my job here to cause an issue with the family.
God, have you ever woken up to a room full of spirits waiting to talk to you? And the reason I say that is, if spirits, I'm guessing there's not a lot of people that can hear them and see them. Mm-hmm. And if they come across someone that can, I would think it'd be like you're the only store open on the street. You're the only store with a now open sign.
Right.
They'd be lined up. So I'm guessing there's, you're going to wake up at some point and there's a room full of people ready to just go, right?
Oh, God, that would be terrifying.
Oh, that hasn't happened.
Like waking up to, oh, my God. I've woken up to spirits, but not like a room full of them. But when I do live streams, that's how it feels, because I'll have all these people in my live stream and they'll be asking like their members of their family to come through, and I'll just open it up. I'm like, okay, guys, like whoever wants to come through, let's open this up. That's when it feels like that. I don't like necessarily see them, but it's like I'll feel it, when I'm on the live and stuff. And I'm like, this feels like the room is crowded right now. And then once I start tapping in, it'll be like, one spirit's talking and then another one chimes in and is like interrupting them. And I'm like, guys, one at a time. We need to make a line. One at a time, please. Then it'll kind of be like that in a way. I don't know how to explain sometimes the way I see them, but it's like, imagine like a dark room behind someone standing there, and then like them vanishing and being interrupted by another person standing there.
I can picture people in line.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
Yeah.
What a man! You have such a cool. Well, it seems like a cool life. Is it a gift or is it a curse?
A little bit of both, which I'm fine with.
Is there an on-off switch when you don't want it to happen?
I'll like tune in and tune out to it. I think like before, when I first started, I was kind of unable to tune out. Like I was too tuned in all the time, and it just it was too much. And so now I'm able to like focus and like not tune into it all the time, but I'll still see things, but it's like I'm not being impacted by that energy or whatever they're trying to tell me.
some of these people you meet, spirits, super normal, nice people.
Yeah.
But I want to know the complete opposite of that. Let's jump into this world. What is the most absolutely terrifying, haunted, or maybe there's another word to describe it, but haunted experience you've ever had?
Oh my God, so many. There was, I mean, this one I think is cool now, but in the moment I just wasn't ready for it, and I had a panic attack and cried because it was like just a lot of energy. It was crazy. We went to the Garnett House in Kansas, and this is the first time, like, I've seen objects move and like the spirits push things, you know, like one at a time. But this place, we had like 5 objects move in a span of like 10 minutes, which is unheard of at any location.
Wow.
And so, I mean, we walked into this room, and there's like there's a big history at this house, and the police in the town know about this house too, because people have had 911 calls there. They've gotten calls from the house to the police station with nobody home, like no one there.
Is the Garnett House, is it like a museum now, or what is it currently?
It's like, it's an old just house.
Nobody lives there?
No. But they have people like come and, you know, investigate and stuff. But there's a whole thing there with like a murder and all these things. But so I'm like backtracking. So we walk into this room, and I have this all on video also. So if anyone doesn't believe me, it's on camera. And so we walked in, and there was this like, there's this doll sitting on a rocking chair. Like, he has a bunch of objects in there and dolls and stuff for them to play with, basically, and like balls and stuff. I'm trying to think what happened first. First, this bedpan, it was really heavy, and it fell. And so we were trying to debunk it. We are like, maybe we'd shifted the floor or something like that. Then there's this doll that has 2 sides to it. It has a happy face and a sad face. The doll goes flying off of this curtain rod onto Happy. And I was like, okay, at least they're happy, you know, that's good. And then we walk, because those little light switch, or not switches, the pulley downs where you pull the light.
Like a little string or whatever?
The string, yeah. I don't know what they're called. That started kind of swinging a little bit. And I was like, okay, so that's swinging over there. So we start walking that way. Then all of a sudden, this ping pong ball goes flying off of the shelf. And then that stupid doll in the rocking chair tumbles off the rocking chair. The rocking chair starts rocking. My boyfriend freaks out, and he screams, and he pulled his back out. And so he had to go sit in the car the rest of the night because he got so scared. Valid, like,
wow.
And so that was insane. And then we later went back to that house, and I think I'm onto something there, because there was this woman coming to me, and she was talking about like how she was murdered. And later in the night, there was this book. I caught this on camera. A book goes flying off of the bookshelf, and the book is called The Business of Murder.
Of course it is.
Yes. And then the owner was like, when I bought this house, we found there's like this bathtub, and there's this, there was a chair in it with chains that they, like, he just bought the house like that. Then in the wall, there was a Ziploc bag of women's underwear, and then like hidden in the wall. And then there was like a bunch of shoes and stuff. And then there was a weird, like, they call it the sexy room. There was a weird room like that there too. So he's like, I think bad things happened here. And
wow.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's the Garnett House in
Garnett, Kansas.
Goodness, that sounds wild. Have you ever felt like you were in real danger, or maybe there?
Not danger. I'm trying to think. There's also the Hill House in Texas. There's something weird there. I mean, it's something very dark there. There's also like, I'm trying to think. I don't like throwing the word demon around, because I'm like, not everything's demonic, and people just assume everything is, oh my God, it's a demon, you know? But when something's pure darkness, like the opposite of the light, you know, it's just complete darkness, that's when I'm like, okay, this is like evil, this is demonic, you know? the Hill House, we had some experiences where we were like, there's a demon in here. And I had this experience where something showed me every dark thing you can possibly imagine, like all at once. I don't even know how to explain it. Like flashes of things you would find on the dark web, the worst things that you could possibly think of. And I just went into a full-on panic because I'd never experienced darkness like that. I'm even like shaking talking about it. And I almost quit doing everything after that one. Yeah.
Okay. Do you consider that place the most haunted place you've ever been? Or if not, where do you, granted, if I ask you this question tomorrow, maybe it's a different answer.
Right.
But what do you consider the most haunted place you've ever been?
Oh my God. Groceries. Just kidding.
Albertsons.
The Albertsons. God damn that place. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of what. I've been to so many places. It's hard to, because they're all haunted in different ways. So it's kind of like, what's your definition of it being more haunted than somewhere else? You know?
Fair point.
You know, so that's like abandoned prisons are really crazy. And we caught a roar on camera at the Nevada State Prison, like an actual, it sounded like a lion roaring. So that one we always get crazy stuff.
And I'm guessing you guys kind of scanned the area. There were no lions.
Yeah, there were no lions. We debunked, made sure. Okay, you guys don't have a lion here, right?
Got it.
Got it.
Hey, what horror movie or movie in general represents what your gift is like to help kind of help me to picture it? Like, I think Sixth Sense, but what movie would best, maybe not completely accurate, describe what you do?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I actually don't watch like a whole lot of paranormal movies just because I find them really kind of silly sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, it doesn't happen that way. But I'm trying to think of one where, I don't know. I haven't seen one yet that's really represented everything that I experience.
I'll have to recommend a few to you. And then after you watch them, if you get a chance, tell me if that's anywhere in the ballpark.
Yes.
All right, let me go through a couple of locations. You know, you mentioned the Queen Mary. God, I need to go back to the Queen Mary and the place where you saw the lady. Where in the ship was that?
I was 7. It was wherever they have this Titanic exhibit. So if they have like a museum exhibit, God, there's this like one room they used to have a Queen Diana one, I think, in there at one point.
So that display place is where it happened.
Yeah, and it was like this hallway. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I've had so many experiences on that ship.
I've had a lady that worked either on the ship or maybe she worked for the exhibit, but that Titanic exhibit, they said they would go in there like the next morning and things under the glass would be moved. And, you know, they didn't think any one of their staff was doing that. So, you know, and I've heard so many stories of the Queen Mary. Like a lady called me, you know, on Kiss FM, you know, I'd take some paranormal calls from time to time on Kiss FM in LA. Yeah. And she said they were, you know, late at night kind of walking the hallways and they were looking for, I don't know, maybe an ice machine. Maybe it wasn't that. I'm just making that up. Yeah. And she went to the front desk and a guy named, I think she said his name was Bernard. Okay. And Bernard said, sure, I'll show you. And it's over here. And he gave him a little quick tour, just being a nice guy. Super nice. All right. Well, they did what they had to do. And they went back to the room, came back the next day, said, hey, we want to thank Bernard for showing us around. There's nobody that works here by the name Bernard. And, of course, you know, there's a lot of stories. I had a lady named Gloria who used to work at Kiss FM in the sales department. She went to the Queen Mary one time with her husband, not during Halloween, just in whatever, March. And she wakes up, and there's a little old lady just walking across the room and kind of headed towards the bathroom. She wakes her husband up, and they're both like, kind of like, what is going on? The little old lady walks into the bathroom. Of course, they rush in. Or she rushed in. I'm not sure. I think with both of them. And of course, nobody's there. I mean, the Queen Mary is, just wild.
It's wild. And it's on water, and water's a conduit of energy, too.
Fair point. Yeah. All right. I saw you had an episode on the Warren Occult Museum.
Yes.
Obviously, we're all fascinated by this.
Oh, yeah.
Just give me your take on your visit. What happened? Some stories from there.
Yeah, I'm actually going back soon, which is exciting because my friend Elton bought it. So he He owns it now with Matt Rife, which is really, really awesome.
That's so you bought the Warren
yeah,
Occult
they bought
Museum.
the freaking. Well, they own like not the artifacts in it, but they're there,
Right.
which is really cool. So, but they own the Ed and Lorraine Warren's house and all that, which is freaking.
When you say
amazing.
they don't own the artifacts,
they don't own like the Annabelle doll, but someone else owns it, but it's at their place.
so
in the
they
museum.
could come in and take it if they wanted. Is what you're saying, or she just lives there? The doll just lives there.
The doll just lived.
So the Annabelle
doll.
I mean, I'm sure the hype has blown it up probably way out of proportion, or maybe not. I don't know. But what is it like for you specific to walk in front of this doll that has who knows what kind of powers?
Oh my God, it was so surreal because at the time they weren't letting a lot of people like go visit too. So it was just like the craziest thing. I think as a collective consciousness, if we all I believe we all create our reality. And I think that us all deciding, because like the doll, there was probably some things that happened, back in the day, but they also were so quick to jump on it's demonic, it's this, especially back then. And so I think now as a collective consciousness, now that we've all added that energy to that doll, if you think about it,
Right.
It's like we're all like demonic, it's evil, that's the energy that manifests it. So them even making the movies and everything like that probably made the Annabelle doll even more energized negatively in a way, because there's this negative perception on her. That's kind of how I just believe that everything's a frequency, everything has energy. And I mean, if we decide something is that way, that's what it's going to be. So when I went there, it was so interesting because they have the glass case and stuff around it, and they have blessings and everything like that. We were going to open it when we went.
Oh, so you could it's not locked. You can just open it if you want.
No. So you have to get permission from the people. The people were going to come in and open it for us. Don't go there and try to open it, guys.
Oh my God.
Do not do that.
You were really going to open that thing though?
We were, yeah. So we had Dan Rivera at the time. He actually passed away, but we had him and he was willing to open it. And, he has special gloves and stuff to handle the doll. So he was going to let us use the special gloves and hold the doll. But when we asked, we were like, what will happen if we open the case? She said, won't make it home. And then it said something about killing us. And then I saw it was so vivid. I saw Ed Warren holding in my mind's eye, I saw him holding the case shut, shaking his head. No. And I was like, okay, they really don't want us to open it, so we probably shouldn't. I'd love to make it home. I have to get on a plane. So yeah, that was a really crazy experience.
I'm glad you didn't open that thing.
Yeah, me too.
Now, Annabelle gets all the hype, but is there something else in there that really caught your attention?
Yeah, there was this fire doll in there, and I didn't even know about. The only thing I knew when I walked in was the Annabelle doll,
Right.
the one
Yeah,
everyone
same.
knows of. But then I didn't realize there were so many other objects that are super haunted too. And I walked by this one case next to the Annabelle doll, and I saw this lady, and it looked like she was very disfigured in a way, and I couldn't figure out why. And so I drew her out, and then I saw this chaotic energy around her, so I started drawing it out, and I was like, I don't know who this lady is, but she seems agitated, and there's something bad happened to this lady. And apparently and it was by that doll, so apparently the fire doll has an entity named Ruby. I can't remember if she started the fire that killed her and her whole family, or what happened with that. But there was a fire and she was engulfed in flames and she was burned. So that's why I saw her so disfigured with all this chaotic energy around her. I was like, oh, that's the fire that I saw. And so that was really interesting. And then I walked by this one doll, which I actually got nightmares from. It's called the Shadow Doll, and it's said to give you nightmares to the point where you have a heart attack and die in your sleep. So I walked by this doll, and I felt almost like I was in a tornado for a second, just spinning. And I was like, what in the world? What is this doll? And then later when I was editing this video, I had the picture of the shadow doll. You know, I was looking at it because I was adding it into the video and stuff. And they're like, even if you look at the picture, like, you're going to have nightmares. That night, I had a nightmare of the freaking shadow doll. It didn't give me a heart attack, but it was trying to scare me. And I'm like, most people would get scared of this, but in the dream, the shadow doll was making this, like, I can't remember if it was a backpack or what it was, something float at the top of the stairs. And me being crazy in my dream, I was like, oh my God, let me get my camera. Let me get my camera. And the whole dream was me stressed because I wasn't catching it on camera.
That was your dream.
That was my dream. So this entity was probably trying to scare me. And I'm like, oh my God, let me record this. Let me get it, you know.
After a while, he's like, I'm just leaving.
Yeah, the entity was like, never mind. This is crazy.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Have you ever been to, speaking of... the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum in Vegas? Mm-hmm. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, once again, I don't have the gift like you, but every time I walk in there, I feel like when I leave, I need, like, there's a spiritual heaviness to it, I'll call it. Like, I need a shower, like a spiritual shower. I mean, what am I experiencing when I walk in there?
Oh my God, there's so many things.
Right?
So many in there. I was not expecting how big it was. So I actually got to go with WWE stars to that. We went after hours when the museum was closed.
We did too, but not with WWE.
Yeah. It's such a different experience when it's closed, you know? And so we went with Rey Mysterio, Scarlett Bordeaux, Karrion Kross, and Shotzi. It was badass, awesome wrestlers, you know? And so... we like sat in the Devil's Rocking Chair and stuff.
You sat in that?
We sat in it. We were like, can we sit in it? And they're like, okay. And so they let us sit in it, being crazy. And we were fine. Like, we're okay. And then, oh my God, I wanted to go see a nipple. Like,
come again?
So, there was this room for Ed Gein.
Oh, right.
And they were telling me about the nipple, like in the wall, like there was someone's
skin,
severed
something like
nipple skin, and I really wanted to go see the damn nipple. And so we walked in there, and right when we walk in, we weren't even recording, but the security camera caught it. I felt something twist my neck like this way, and then like that, like something was trying to break my neck.
Wow,
and it hurt. I was like, what the hell just happened? I've never had that happen in my life. And I guess Ed Gein didn't like brunettes because I guess his mother was brunette or something like that. There's something there. So I think he was trying to kill me, which was great. So that was a crazy experience in that room.
Whoa. Did you go into the Dybbuk box room?
We did,
What's your take on that?
I felt okay in there, but they also had like 20 pieces of glass.
Like the prayers and all that around it?
Yeah. They also had all of that on top of it. So I was like, okay, like we're okay in there.
How about the Peggy the doll room?
Yeah, I stared at her. I know you're not supposed to look her in the eyes, but I was like, I'm going to look her in the eyes. There's definitely something there. I don't know if I'm just kind of, I don't know. I walked in without fear. I feel like if you go in fearful, you kind of lower your frequency, and that allows spirits to mess with you more. But if you walk in and you're not fearful and you have that barrier, then I don't think they can mess with you as much. And so I stared at her in the eyes, and I noticed one of her eyes is like smaller than the other on one side, and it almost looks like she had a stroke. And I guess she gives people strokes too. So I thought that was really fascinating.
That room terrified us. Me and Wacko went in there and we're filming that night, you know. And it's a bizarre room. And there was we did one video, and Wacko edited the whole thing, posted the whole bit, you know. And then it starts to, you know, get a little traction and blow up a bit. And he's like, what's going on here? And people were talking about this at the 55-minute mark or whatever it was. I don't know if it was 55.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, I guess he's watching this video, and the dolls that are on the ground, they start to move. Mm-hmm. And it was just, you don't see a doll move by itself very often. And it kind of caught us completely off guard, because that wasn't the doll that was the focus of the room. Peggy was the focus.
Right.
So Zach Bagans Haunted Museum, I mean, you're the expert. But man, it seems real to me.
Yeah, I think like there's a mixture. You know, I think some of them I'm like, I don't know. But there's definitely real haunted like artifacts in there for sure. I guess in the day they have more effects going on and things like that. So people are like, oh, it's the effects. But I haven't experienced it when when it's open and things like that. So
right.
Yeah.
I want to get to the Glen Tavern Inn in a few moments because we're about to go there. But I want to just do one more location. The Hinsdale House, a.k.a. the Exorcist House. It was one of your episodes. What happened there?
Yeah.
Anything interesting?
We had we went into this area where they have offerings for the elemental. And that was one of my first times doing like a tobacco offering for the spirits, which was really, really cool to do. And I highly recommend if you ever get like the chance to do that, especially if it's like native, elementals and things like that. It definitely, I kind of felt protected by that elemental, which is interesting. And most people would be scared. But I don't know. Honestly, I think that house wasn't as insane as I thought it would be, but it still was definitely haunted and there were things going on. And I'm trying to think if we had anything like bonkers happen. My friend definitely got sick when she was doing the Estes method, and she felt really uncomfortable and was getting really weird negative things in like, when you have the spirit box in your ear. She was hearing hisses and growls and things like that. And so she felt so uncomfortable to the point where we were like, okay, we should get out of here. But yeah, we got a lot of equipment going off and, nothing insane like the other houses.
All right, let's jump to insane real quick because we were talking off air about this. The Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula, California. Mm-hmm. I've been there before. It's been a while, but I've been there before, and a lot of stories from this place. I know that we're about to stay in the penthouse suites, penthouse suites 307 and 308, I believe.
Okay.
But you were telling me, I don't know where this mirror is at, but you saw this figure in the mirror.
Yes.
This seems jaw-dropping.
Yes. So I was going to the bathroom downstairs, and I guess this was the old women's changing room for the brothel or something like that. So I walked out of the bathroom, and it always happens when we're not filming. Literally, I'm like, can you guys just wait like 1 minute? And so I walked out, and I looked. There's like a mirror to the right of me, and I look in the mirror, and I saw a man sitting in the chair in the mirror, and he had like this goatee, and he had this like shaggy brown hair and a white button shirt, and he was just smiling at me just in a really creepy way, like I watched you go to the bathroom way. I'm like, ew. And so I saw him there, and I was like, what in the world? It was the first time I'd seen an entity just in the mirror manifested and not in the physical room with us. And so I thought that was really interesting. And then I looked it up later, and I guess people see a man, I think he died in like the shootout or something like that, and they see him the same way I saw him, with like the goatee and like the button-up shirt and all these things. I forget what his name was, but it was so creepy.
What's your theory on why he could be in the mirror? Like, is the mirror itself haunted? How does that happen in your? Nobody really knows, I guess. But do you have a theory on that?
I mean, I think mirrors are portals. When you have two facing mirrors to each other and stuff, like that energy's bouncing back and forth constantly to where it's like an infinite. When you're like in a room full of mirrors, you see the infinite amounts of you, and so that energy's constantly bouncing, like, and it's like creating some sort of like portal, and I think mirrors too, because it has that, maybe me seeing him in there, I don't really know how to explain that, but that's the best way, is like it's a portal. Maybe he was just in the mirror dimension, I don't know.
whatever it is, it sounds freaking creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Any warnings before we stay the night there? Anything we should know?
Ooh, are you sleeping there?
We're staying there.
Oh my god, I've never slept there. I mean, there is a woman that she may not like men because of the way she passed away.
Oh, okay.
So if you're sleeping in her room, I'm not sure what you'll experience. She was a lady of the night, so you'll either have a great experience or
or be dead,
or a really bad one. So
That sounds awesome. We got to find out. Wacko, whatever room she's in, you're in that one.
You'll either have a great dream or a really bad one.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll let you know.
You never know.
Just as long as I don't see that dude in the mirror. Hey, real quick, she's got this mobile app. You're the co-creator of Kelsi Davies' Haunt Escape. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what to say, but it's just so cool, right? I mean, who has a... That sounds awesome.
It's so cool.
Give me the backstory on that.
Yeah. So my friend Aaron Hibbard, he did you ever play? I don't know if you guys know Club Penguin. Like
I did not know. But
oh my God, it was this online. You're all penguins. It was amazing. And so he was like, "Hey, let's make a game." And I was like, okay, like that's awesome. And so we came up with this concept where it's kind of like an escape room, but you're me, and to escape you have to help spirits move on, and you have to find them and solve puzzles, and you have to run from like there's these people down there that are weird cult members with like bags over their head, just very bizarre. And you have to like run from them and figure out how to kill them and stuff. And it's just it is a fun, like immersive, awesome game. We're working on level 2 right now. We're adding my haunted doll Lola into it, and she has like powers in it, and it's a even bigger map this time and a cool story that kind of goes into the Moonlight Tunnels, which is where you start, and you're in like a haunted sewer tunnel, which is where my journey started.
This is so cool.
Yeah. It's awesome. And it's free. It's free on the App Store. And it's a full game. Like,
you guys
it's awesome.
Check this. Kelsi Davies' Haunt Escape. Obviously, you got to check her. I still haven't gone through all your episodes. I did for the research.
There's quite a few.
There's a lot. So I got to check the one out with, oh my God. Where's the one we were talking about earlier? The one.
Garnet House?
Not that one.
Okay.
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
There's a lot of them.
I need to go through see all these episodes.
Yeah, every single one.
Of course, she's got merch, T-shirts, notebooks. I think the notebooks at one point were sold out, but hopefully you've restocked that, I guess.
Yes, yeah. We have notebooks, sketchbooks. We're coming out with candles now, and they're going to be soy wax-based, beautiful, spooky candles that I'm really excited about, too. Do people,
as we wrap this up, do people ever call you to investigate private homes? And if so, any moments you can share with that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I've had there was this one, it's like a guy's warehouse, and he turned it into he collects all these different toys. And so he sells all these different types of antique toys and things like that. And so this is a place no one's ever visited, and it was just my friends would go there and buy things, and he's like, this place is haunted, do you guys want to do something here? And he refused to tell us anything before we went as to why it's haunted. He's like, I want to see if you guys can figure it out, which is my favorite thing to do because I like to test. I'm like, yes, now people can't say you looked it up, you Googled it. It's nowhere on Google, it's nowhere to find. And so we went there, and I had the craziest things happen. We were driving there, and there was a little boy in the car with us, and he had a blue baseball cap on. And so I tell my boyfriend every time I see something, I'm like, just write it down, note it down. You're my witness. And so I talked about that little boy. And then we went there, and I saw this man standing by this red fridge, and he was a little shorter, I think. And so I saw him by that red fridge, and I was like, okay, note that. And then we went over to this area, and there's hundreds of dolls, by the way. So there was this one doll I saw, and I was like, there's something with this doll, and I keep getting the name Polly with this doll. And so we noted Polly. And then we went and we started doing an Estes method, and I kept seeing this little girl, and there was something with her drowning in water and things like that. So got her. Then we got this man who I was like, he died from lung cancer. I believe he had stage 4 lung cancer, and that's how this man passed away. So we relayed that all back to the guy who owns it, and he was blown away. And he was like, okay, so the little boy you saw in the blue baseball cap, that was my cousin. He was 8 years old. He was outside playing baseball with his Dodgers baseball cap on, and he was hit by a car.
Oh, my God.
And so he died. And so he's like, so that was him. And then the man standing by the red fridge, he was like, we have an altar behind the red fridge, and it's an altar for, I believe it was his son's girlfriend's father or something like that. So they had a whole altar for him right there. So that was interesting.
Okay.
And then And then the little girl, he was like, okay, so there's been 2 little girls following me my entire life. And they always come to me, like I would be in the shower and I would hear them running around and stuff. So that, like the girl with the water, it was just interesting little, thing right there. And then the doll, Polly, he was like, okay, no, there's no way she could possibly know this, but that doll was actually used as a sitting doll in like an old Twilight Zone episode or something. And the woman who gave it to me, her name was Paulina, and we call her Polly. And so she had passed away and gave him that doll. And then his father died from stage 4 lung cancer. And so that was the man I was picking up on as well.
And you walked through and just picked this all up. Let me ask you a question and tell me your take on this. I don't have the gift, I don't think, but I did stay at the Roosevelt once. And it was the room, and I forget the name of the old Hollywood celeb that I stayed in, but it was one of the higher floors, and I stayed in there for that reason. And then, I woke up at 4:44 in the morning after having a dream. In the dream, I felt like I was somebody else in the dream. Mm-hmm. So I was looking through somebody else's eyes, and I dreamt I was lying on someone's lap, and they were like caressing my head.
Okay.
And I felt like if I could have only raised up in the dream and looked in the mirror to see who I was, I wish I could have done that.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah. I mean, everyone could have experiences. That makes me happy. I love when people have I'm like, yes. That could be someone's memory that you were tapping into, or they were just showing you a short memory of them. Because in our dream state, a lot of the times our consciousness will go elsewhere, and everything in our universe, every spirit, every one of us, we are all connected. We are all part of one divine source consciousness of energy. And so when we dream, we kind of go into that network of consciousness. So I feel like a lot of the times that's how spirits can come and like show you little glimpses of things in their life, or just show you like, hey, like this is a memory I had, here you go, just like little things like that. It doesn't have to be anything huge or life-changing, but it's just those small things to pay attention to. Also looking up the symbolism too of what that was.
The 444?
Yeah, 444 is an angel number. So that's, that could be one of your ancestors could have been sharing something with you, or it could have, I don't know, it could have been anything. So it's just how you felt in the dream, if you felt safe, if you felt comforted, just pay attention to that. And it could just be them like, hey, I'm looking out for you. I got you.
It was so wild. I mean, when I woke, we the reason I stayed there was because it was a haunted room. Mm-hmm. And we had a psychic come in with us earlier in the night. Mm-hmm. And we, had all the equipment and all this stuff, and nothing really happened. They left. I decided to stay the night by myself. I wake up at 4:44 after that. I was like, oh, my God. I turned all the lights on. I'm like, what? What's going on here? Final question. Any advice or warnings for people that kind of want to do what you do, whether it be maybe not necessarily the psychic clairvoyant side of it, because you either have that or you don't, I guess. But as far as the paranormal investigation type thing, warnings before somebody jumps into this field.
Yeah. Just remember, we create our reality. So whatever, and like set an intention before you go somewhere. If you go in with complete fear, that's what you're going to experience. If you go in with curiosity, that's what I always say. Go in with curiosity and just be open to any experience. Be respectful, but have fun. Like spirits, it's all energy. So if you're having fun, having a good time. If I was a spirit and I saw a group over there having like a blast, and then this really serious group, like, so how did you die? I would go to the other one. Like, I'm like, I want to go hang with these guys. Like,
fair enough.
Yeah. And just be respectful. Not every spirit wants to sit and talk about their death all the time. I'll give them a chance to, if they want justice or if they want something like that. I'll be like, hey, if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you. Just be chill with them. They'll be chill with you. If you go somewhere with a poltergeist, just stretch beforehand. We learned that, so you don't pull your back out.
Wow, yeah.
Stretch. Just be prepped, and just basically have fun.
What place in Los Angeles? I mean, we could ask worldwide, but since we're sitting in LA, what place, if I wanted if I wanted to have the best chance of having a paranormal experience, what place would you suggest I go?
Wow. LA.
And granted, there's no guarantee. I get that. You know.
I mean, the Queen Mary, right?
Pretty much
That's
short,
like the
short and
hot
simple answer.
spot. Yeah, I mean, that's the first spot that I'm like, you're gonna have something happen there.
Kelsey, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank
oh my
you.
God!
Oh my God, we should go ghost hunting.
I was about to ask you. One of these days, I would love to go ghost hunting with you. You
Let's
pick the
do
place, or if we find a place, we'll hit you up. Whatever. Let me know what you want to do, and the answer is yes 1,000 times.
Yes.
Oh my God! Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Once again, that's Kelsi Davies. Search her everything. She's just absolutely incredible. At the end of every interview, Kelsey, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little.
Yes. Woo.